I have to do something with that light. So I changed the light bulb,
It's good.
but it makes me. I could blind people with with my head.
Oh,
You see that? Ah, okay.
okay.
Not that light. The one on top. I
I know
talking
we're
about.
just gonna
Oh, there we go.
okay.
There we go. And we here. We live.
Yes, we are.
I just ran back from the gym. The parents wanted to talk to me afterwards, but I just ran back, and here I am.
Mm-hmm.
Made it in time.
Yes, that is one thing that you have to get used to as a when you work with kids, not just a coach, when
Right.
you work with kids, parents.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
But it was a good day today. Good
Good.
day. And we had the boys competing this weekend for the state
Mm-hmm.
meet.
Very
We're gonna go away on
exciting.
Friday.
Thursday.
Thursday we leave, but
Yes.
Friday they compete.
Friday is the competition. Yep.
Yes, yes, yes. I don't know if you know, you probably know this, but you know that my father used to be a boxer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know that's where I started before I did martial art.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so
Are we
yeah, no, we're not.
okay? Go ahead.
Yeah. Um, yeah, my father used to be a boxer, and I remember the last time that he fought. And it's interesting because people tell me that I should remember that.
Okay. They tell you shouldn't remember that.
Yeah, because they said that I was too small, too young to remember.
Okay.
Um,
Welcome to the show, guys. Thank you for
yes.
joining us.
Um,
Thank you, Kim.
yeah, so it was quite an experience because I remember it. And then when I describe it to some of my family, they say, "Oh
Mhm.
yeah, that's exactly what happened that day."
Mhm.
So I don't know. I don't even remember how old I was, but I do
No,
remember.
I don't think it matters because you ever heard of, like, especially when Layla was in school, they were talking about core memory. That's
Uh-huh.
a core memory, something that happened years ago when you were a child, and, like, it's just like sort of ingrained in your mind,
Hmm.
something that you didn't forget,
Yeah.
even now, many years ago,
Many years, many
probably
years.
over 60 years ago. So,
Yeah, probably. So
very cool.
what did you think about the Oscars last night? Did the people that you won, or were you just cheering for everyone?
Um, I don't know if I wanted anyone in particular to win,
Yeah.
but I thought it was great. I don't typically watch the Oscars, even though every year for the past couple of years
Oh, you are in the business.
we've been going to an Oscar watch party in Kingston, Kim, where we run into Kim,
That's right, Kim. Hi, Kim.
and we had so much fun. And the reason why, I guess maybe why I don't watch it is because we are with so many fabulous, fun people that we end up having so much fun and laughing and telling jokes and, reminiscing about being on set that we don't pay attention to the awards much. So last night I actually watched the entire thing. Even Layla came back in and she was watching the rest of it with us, which I was pretty shocked. And she was excited when someone won from kept Oppenheimer was like the big winner of
she
the
liked
evening.
that. Yeah, she really did.
In several of the categories, which was amazing. So and she was very excited about that. So I thought it was great.
Yeah. So what else we want to talk about before we bring our guest in?
That is so funny that you asked that question because you never do. It just flows. So
okay.
That's very bizarre.
I know that we have a lot to do this weekend. Besides the state meet, then we are doing the red carpet. Tweed Talk is going to do the red carpet for Warrior
Islands, which was a comic book and a series.
It's a comic book that turned into a movie now. And it's going to be a series. And they're doing the movie premiere down in New Jersey. And they have asked us if we are going to be the press, and we're going to do our own red carpet interviews.
Yeah, yes, I'm very excited about that. We're now stepping out of our studio.
Yeah, so that's going to be live in New Jersey. So if you're coming to the movies, you're going to see us there. Yeah, That's exciting. Okay.
We're also going to be streaming live from
We're going to be streaming live, and then on Monday we're going to recap.
Yeah, Monday will be a recap.
Right.
That's going to be exciting too. So listen, you guys, we have a really great show tonight. Our guest tonight is Bryant Costello. And I want to tell you guys a little bit about the background as to why we even asked Bryant to come on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So this was maybe a little over a month ago, and I was just scrolling through my news feed, and I see Bryant's page pop up or whatever, and he was talking about the struggle he was having. He was in the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
and he was sick. And we know that over the past couple of years, cannabis has been legalized in many states,
Mm-hmm.
New York being one of them. And so now people are very free with using it, with smoking it. We were talking last night, we were watching the Oscars, and Layla was like, oh, you remember when we went to the concert over the summer,
right,
when we were at Bethel Woods, and it was just wafting through the air.
Right.
And at the time, she was, what was it, summertime? So she was 19 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, for someone who was raised in a somewhat of a sheltered home, it was kind of like, whoa, this is like out of the ordinary. But it's so free. It's legalized now. So people are not as secretive as
right.
they were before.
It's everywhere now. Yes.
So, but one of the things that people don't talk about is the dangers,
mm-hmm.
the illnesses. Bryant went through something,
right.
and I don't want to give too much away,
mm-hmm.
but we're going to talk with him tonight about that, because as soon as I saw his post, I said, we need to have you on the show, because in a way it's sort of glorified.
Yeah.
It's glorified, and, you know, we got to share both sides of the story. No, not both sides. We got to share the other side of the story.
Right.
And he's going to join us. You met him years ago because he's...
Yeah, I was talking to him about bringing him on the show before you talked to him about this.
Okay.
And we were looking for the right time to do it, and this is the right time.
The right time.
Now, before he comes in, I'm going to play a video.
Let's
because we're not only talking about that, we're talking about his vaccine as well. So I'm going to play a video so you know what he does, doing his thing. Okay, it's just little clips.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then
after that,
when the video finishes, it's about a minute long.
He'll be live on.
He'll be live on Tweed Talk with us. Okay, so Kenny, I'm already there. just a little moment, and here we go.
Bryant Costello wants to get out of here early. Ooh, nice body shot. And back with an uppercut. Ooh, and Everett's fighting back, though. Costello finished that round strong.
Last 30 seconds of the round, Costello really took it to Everett. And Everett was hurt, but he was fighting back. So two spirited rounds. The first was, I thought, nice body shot with the right hand.
Nice uppercut by Costello. Costello's got a nice stiff jab and keeps him at the end of it. And when he gets inside, he throws that vicious uppercut.
Final seconds, round number 2.
Ooh, he's tagging him. Caught him with 2-3 really good shots at the end of that round. He's finished strong both times at the end of the first and second.
Anthony Everett. Costello in the red trunks. Everett, the one flurrying on the inside. Fighting back hard, getting hurt in there, in close, but he's trying to make a fight of it.
I think Everett's corner told him, listen, you're down 2-0. You're getting tagged with some good shots. Go out there and lay it on the line. Go out on your shield. And that's what he's been doing. But Costello has an answer at every turn. Beautiful uppercut. Overhand right.
It's over.
Paul Brown, you know, let me tell you something. That was a good stoppage. You don't want to get it to a guy where he falls down. He was getting hit with everything.
Were you watching it, Brian?
Yeah, I was watching it. Yeah, it's awesome. I brought it
awesome. That was a wonderful, wonderful clip. Welcome to Tweed Talks.
Tweed Talks.
Hey, how you guys doing? Thanks for having
Good.
me.
Yes, yes, we're so
Thank you
glad
for coming on.
to have you on. So let's talk about the kickoff with the boxing a little bit, since you just showed that amazing clip. So tell us a little bit about why you got started boxing, because my husband said, "Oh yeah, honey, let me train you to fight." He was saying this years ago. I was like, "No, I don't want to get hit in the face." So I hats off to people who do not mind going and getting in the ring and going blow for blow with people. So talk a little bit about that. Your start in boxing.
Well, I always loved boxing. I used to sit down with my grandfather. We used to watch Mike Tyson, all the old fights back in the day. And it's kind of sad, my brother had passed away, and the last conversation that me and my little brother had was about joining a boxing gym and getting serious about boxing.
Mhm.
So when he passed away, I kind of needed a little outlet, to take all the negativity away from me, and boxing was definitely the answer. It was therapeutic, and I love boxing. At the end of the day, I that's my medication. But yeah, yeah,
So
definitely.
what age were you when you started boxing?
I started off really, really late. I started off around like the age of 23.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, I started real late. At the end of the day, like I said before, that's the age when my brother passed away, and it was a time where I just needed something to keep my mind off the negativity, and I just
Okay.
stuck with it after that. I'm 37, so you kind of say I'm like kind of old for the sport, but I'm still going. I'm still kicking and throwing
Oh,
punches,
That's
cool, cool.
awesome.
Well, you had some good techniques there. So, and I'm so sorry because when that fight was announced, we had a competition, so I couldn't come and watch it.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No
Mhm.
I was
worries.
gonna go, but at least I got to watch it on YouTube, but the whole thing.
Mhm.
I really enjoyed it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was a good time. I actually got there by accident. They asked for some people at the local gym to come up and put the ring up inside the area. And my coach
Hmm.
Jose is like, hey, this is the time to go over there and, try to find the promoter. So after I helped put the ring up, I was like, hey, you guys know where I can find the promoter at? He's like, yeah, that's him over there walking up. And I was like, all right, good.
Wow.
That was my chance. I went over and I introduced myself. I told them, hey, I'm the only like boxer in the area. If you can get me on the show, I could sell some tickets, and he liked
Wow.
it.
Right, right.
Put me on the next show.
And
Yeah,
you did.
awesome. hmm
Hmm.
Where was that fight in particular? The one we just watched. That was at
That was
Resort World?
Yeah.
right in Monticello Resorts World Casino.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. That's a beautiful venue.
Mm-hmm.
hmm It was great. I loved it. I actually sold a lot of tickets, and if it wasn't for COVID, we would have had a lot more business.
Right,
Yeah, yeah.
right. So I know a lot of people that start off in a sport or something like that, eventually they end up training like younger fighters. So are you training anyone younger than you, looking out for the younger generation?
Absolutely. I'm definitely training a lot of young fighters right now and just people that just want to learn the sport altogether. Um I'm not training this one particular fighter, but his name is Eli Williams, Eli the Bully Williams, and he's representing the 845 right now. He's from Newburgh, New York, and he's great. He's awesome right now. I think everybody should, pay attention to what he's doing in the area in the community because he's up next, definitely.
Hmm.
Awesome, open. So he's dropping a name for us to watch.
Yeah, definitely. I used to spar him a lot. He gives me a lot of kudos for helping him out. And he's the one that helped me out. He got me to where and he's younger than me. He helped me out a lot with my boxing. So yeah, big shout
Nice.
out to him.
Yeah, it's always like a give and take when even though you're a teacher, you can learn from your students as well. We don't want to, forget about that. You're never too old to learn, right?
Right.
Absolutely. His coach helped me out a lot. I mean, my coach Jose Toledo, he definitely took me to the next level. But shout out to
Say,
Jose
yeah,
and
shout
shout
Yeah.
out to
out to
Jose.
Leonard Lee. Yeah. Coach Jose and Untouchables Boxing, what they got going on in Liberty, New York is
Yeah.
awesome. Check him out. Definitely. He has a HBO special coming out soon, interviewing him about boxing in the Catskills. So that's something to look out
Nice.
for.
Go.
Oh wow, that is very exciting.
Good.
So let's get into the nitty gritty. So what you went through Bryant, when I saw your Facebook post, really just hit me in a certain way because, like I said, we so many people talk about the use of cannabis and it's glorified. They say, "Oh, it's legal, so we can get it anywhere we want," and things like that. But there's also another side, which is what you went through. So tell the audience a little bit about what it was that you went through, the illness, and how you found out about it.
All right, so first of all, um, as a boxer, it was never a thing of mine to actually to be addicted to weed, to be addicted to cannabis. At the end of the day, I was going through a lot of stress. I was going through a divorce, and I was at a time in my life where, boxing wasn't working out, and mental health was really damaged at that time, my mental health. So, I turned to marijuana, and that wasn't giving me the answers that I needed, but at the same time, I thought at the moment it was giving me the relief that I needed to get through the day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was abusing it to the point where I was smoking around 3 times a day on my lunch breaks. I'm outside of my car smoking, and it was just a lot. You can get it right from the stores nowadays. It's nothing, And what happened to me, one day I just literally got the craziest stomach ache, and I just kept on throwing up. The nausea was crazy. I just kept throwing up, and I couldn't stop throwing up. I thought it was something that I ate.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knew what was wrong with me. I ended up saying, forget about it, let me go to the doctor. I went to the hospital, went to St. Luke's, and and literally nobody knew what was wrong. Then one of the young doctors came in the office and said, "This looks very familiar. It looks like something called cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome, excuse me." And it's a rare condition that messes with the endocannabinoid system, and basically it starts in your lungs, moves down to your kidneys. It causes severe dehydration, and
Mm-hmm.
oddly enough, the only thing that actually causes some kind of relief is a warm shower. Now these attacks were happening to me for years and years, and I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know why. I thought weed was calming it down, but I realized it. You know that you have it. The doctor said you know that you have this syndrome when you can get in the shower and warm water from the shower alleviates the pain. It kind of relieves you, you know. Even in the hospital, I was in the hospital snatching IVs out of me and just running to the shower. You know what I mean? Just to alleviate the pain. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's how bad it was. And I had doctor's orders, let him go to the shower whenever he wanted. It was the weirdest thing ever. But I would stay in the shower for hours upon hours, throwing up in the shower, and it was horrible. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, honestly.
Mm-hmm. So
I
how
would
long
keep
were you in? How long was your hospital stay?
my hospital stay was approximately 9 days.
Wow,
Um, yeah, I lost literally 30 pounds in that 9 days
I would
just from
imagine.
throwing up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just from throwing up, dehydration. I couldn't keep anything down. I couldn't keep water down. I had to suck on ice, little ice pieces. It was
Mm-hmm.
horrible, and I really think that the world needs to know about it. I posted some things on Facebook about it, and I had a lot of people, oh, your weed must have been laced. Oh, it must have been this. It must have been that. They don't want to accept the fact that, look, this is a real thing,
Mm-hmm.
and people are actually getting sick. A couple of people actually died from this and not
Wow.
even knowing what it was. I was one of those people who almost passed from this, literally in the hospital. The doctor said if you
Wow.
didn't come here, you would have died from dehydration. So
Hmm.
kidney
Because
stones,
you
it was
said that
horrible.
when you sent me a message, you said the CHS, if it causes such severe dehydration that it affects your kidneys. Is that what you said?
Absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. I had kidney stones, had the, worst thing ever, as a man, going through that, the kidney stones. And everybody thinks, oh, it had to be something else. Listen, do your research, okay? I can never smoke weed again, the doctor said, and I feel so much better without it. you know, and
Right.
it's sad that I had to go through this in order to make me stop, you know, but at the end of the day, people think that you can just run away from your problems and do a drug, and like this is the clearest, this is the most I ever used my regular brain, you know, non-high brain in
Right.
years, and it's been a big change in my life, mentally, emotionally, physically. I feel great now.
It's
Mm.
like you have a mental clarity after coming down and just being completely clean without the cannabis.
Absolutely. I got kind of like a fear of doing it. I even joined
Oh.
a Facebook group. You know, it's a
Mm-hmm.
group of us and people's always commenting like, I wonder if I can just try it again. And I'm always like, go ahead and try, but you know, we can't promise that, you know, that it won't happen again. You know,
Uh-huh.
be stronger than what your addiction is. You know, and I,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
you know, it reminds me of that show with Dave Chappelle on it, where they kind of kicked him out the AA meeting because he was only on weed. You know,
Uh-huh.
at the end of the day, you know, they say it's only weed, but when you go through what I went through, you know, you beg to differ.
Oh, right, right. And I think people need to hear that. And we talk all the time, and not only that, we're talking about the CHS, but they're saying, oh, so you, instead of smoking cigarettes, they'll smoke the weed or the cannabis. But
Or vaping.
smoke is not meant to be in your lungs. So on the other hand, aside from the CHS, which is extremely serious as well, smoke doesn't belong in your lungs. Your lungs are supposed to stay clear so that you are able to breathe. So there's multiple things that can come from smoking weed, and I think people, since now it's legalized, people are more, they're less concerned about what can happen from those things.
It's like if you don't think there's something wrong, think about yourself coughing. When the body coughs, that's it naturally telling you that, you know, it doesn't
You know,
belong in my body.
that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're sitting there constantly coughing, and a lot of people, oh, I like the cough. I like the cough. The cough is,
Hmm.
you know, making me more high. You got to understand that that's your body telling you, like, hey, this is not supposed to
Reject.
be in here,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know. But a lot of us don't think like that. And, you know, we need to bring more awareness out there because I have an 18-year-old son. We have kids out here that are literally, you know, abusing this thing, abusing the vapes, abusing the edibles, and are actually getting sick and don't know where it stems from.
Hmm.
You know, we need to really push this awareness out there. There's people that's getting sick that is dying, you know. So
Yeah.
it's important.
There are several things that Bryant shared with us via private messenger that we will be sharing in the comments as well. I also just shared a link from Cedar Sinai Medical Center about CHS and the severity of that disease. So that is also in the comments. So we'll continue to share that to let people know how serious that is. So you said you started using it for using marijuana for because you were going through things mentally, right? And emotionally.
Yeah, mentally and emotionally, but my main thing, you know, I wasn't really boxing anymore, and my body was in pain. I'm telling you, like I was going through some things when it came to my body. You know, I had
Mhm.
pains in my back, you know, my shoulders, and I felt, you know, just from word of mouth, other people telling me, "Hey, use the weed," and
Yeah.
you know,
Yep.
but that's a different story. Yeah, you cannot mix athleticism and marijuana. Okay, that's number one. And I was taught that a long time ago when I first started boxing. You know, but another thing that you really can't do and you shouldn't do that my coach would always come at me is, you know, focus on women. You know, focus on a relationship. You
Mhm.
know, when you're a boxer, you're in it to win, okay? And you have to have the dog mentality. You know, yeah, you can have a family. There's plenty of boxers that do it, but it has to be a peaceful marriage. You know, and at the time I wasn't going through
Right.
that. No disrespect to whoever I was with, but still
Mhm.
in all, I needed my mind to be focused. It wasn't focused. I was taking a lot of losses, and I wasn't in a mentally safe or emotionally safe environment. So I took the marijuana and I was using it to try to numb myself from the emotional pain that I was going through.
Mhm.
Once somebody asked me a question in an interview. I think it was a radio interview. I don't remember, or newspaper, and they asked me about the things that I did. Oh, you do this, and you do that, you do this. Is there anything you can do? And I said, yeah. What is it? I said, I don't do drugs. Is there anything you don't do?
Right.
And I said, I don't do drugs. But I've been trained since I was a little kid. There's something, it's funny because I grab the book and I open it. It's my book. I'm not plugging it. I open it and look where I open it to.
Smoking.
Could you read that, one?
Okay. Okay, so this is titled Smoking. If you looked at a $60,000 car, the body looks in perfect condition. But then the car drives away and you see a lot of smoke coming out of it. You would think that there's something wrong with the car. If you passed by a house and saw a lot of smoke coming out of it, you would think that there's something wrong. If you were cooking and saw a lot of smoke coming out of the oven, you would think that there was something wrong. That's why when I see smoke coming out of people, I always wonder what's wrong.
I love that.
A lot of the times I write like points to make people to think about things like that. But what I'm glad about is that you coming out of it and now you're making other people aware of it.
Absolutely. That's
Because,
my biggest thing.
yeah, and that's
spread the word.
Yeah, spread the word to younger kids because they don't understand it. Most of the time, people do something because they see other people doing it. So they, smoking. Like you said before, and we together on this. Smoking, when you take a puff or smoke, the first thing you do is like you start to choke. Okay, so my mother, when I was a kid, we used to go to church. He said that you can't do that. You can't smoke. And if you smoke, I may not see it, but God will see it. So one time a kid tried to talk me into it, and I took one shot of regular cigarette, and I started coughing. I said, "Oh no, God saw me." so right away, so I don't understand. We don't do that with food. We don't take food and we go, "Oh, this is good."
Spit it out.
Which is what you do with smoking. You put it into your body and then you blow it out. So if it was good, you'll keep it in there, right? So I'm so glad that you are here and sharing your story because that's important. I don't know who will get to watch this, but at least we make them think because they're always looking for another way to do something that's not good for their body.
Right.
Well, I want to be very transparent with everybody. Even at myself, there were times where I was a leader, but there was also times where I was a follower. And I feel like at this point in my life, I can actually admit that. At the end of the day, I feel it's okay for me to admit that. I don't have any images anymore. I don't want to cover up the person that I am or who I was. I want to be transparent with everyone. And yes, I was a follower. I was trying to do the things that everybody else was doing and stuff, and it wasn't for me. And I feel like, it's okay to say, hey, as a young person, I am this type of person. I am not like that. I shouldn't have to do this or want to do this just to make other people accept me.
Right.
That's the main thing. That's the message that I want to be yourself. You understand? And there's a trend out there in the music, in the lifestyle. Please, like, if you can learn anything from anyone, just be yourself. There's nothing wrong with being yourself, and the followers get left.
Yeah, you got to be authentically you.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't go and buy a ring that's fake. Like, you know what I'm saying? You want the authentic thing, and then we sell or serve short because we want everything else to be real, but then we don't want to be real. And then the people that are yelling, keep it real, are the ones that are keeping it most fake.
Absolutely.
So I like the way you think. I like the way you're thinking.
Yeah.
I think that's going to help a lot of kids. Listening
Mhm.
to you, especially with the experiences that you have with the boxing. That's actually, people, some kids will look up to you because of that,
Mhm.
and then they will look up for you for the person that you are. Um, oh yes, Heather.
So you
See,
touched a little bit on mental health, Bryant, also. And you said there was a time where you stepped away from boxing, but then when we talked, you said you were trying to get back into it now. You were getting back into it. So I know there had to be some sort of a transition to where you mentally felt like you couldn't be a part of the sport anymore, or vice versa. So talk about that transition where you went from not wanting to do it to now wanting to be a part of the sport again.
I was trying. Well, one thing about me, I'm kind of one track minded. That's always been me. I gotta force myself to multitask at times.
Mm.
Especially in the career that I'm in right now. I'm into insurance, life insurance, and health insurance. I'm helping a
Oh,
lot of
wow.
people out with Medicare and
Oh,
teaching the importance of insurance.
that's
That's where
amazing.
I'm at.
That's
But it was a time where I had to put boxing to the side to actually learn about these things and stuff like that. And also, I was trying to be a husband, you
amazing.
know, and I just, at the end of the day, it was new to me. I'm a father. Okay, I got
Hmm.
my kids, but as far as being a boxer and a husband, it's a lot of work. You got to keep your wife happy, and at the same time, you got to stay loyal to the craft.
Hmm.
You got to stay loyal to the business, which is the hurt business. Okay, and in order to be part of the hurt business, you got to iron, you got to sharpen your knife, your iron. You have to literally be in the gym 24 hours, like literally 9 hours of the day. You
Wow.
know, I make a joke, I was talking to one of my friends, I was like, hey, I forgot to disclose this, but I'm in the gym majority of the time. This is another reason I can't keep a relationship. I'm in the gym, people want to text me and I'm ignoring text messages, I'm ignoring phone calls because I'm in the gym. Lifestyle that you have to have for boxing. You cannot mix the outside world. It's like being a gladiator, you know. You're a real warrior, Mike Tyson mentality, tunnel vision. I
Hmm.
couldn't mix the life. I couldn't mix being a gladiator at the same time going home and being a family man and trying to be there for my wife and helping my wife out. I mean, I tried it, but I just I don't think it was enough, you know. And with that kind of stress, it kind of plays on your mental health,
Hmm.
Mhm.
especially when you find out that the person that you're trying to do this for really ain't feeling it.
Right,
That's
right.
Right before. Yeah.
that was where I was at. I really, as bad as I wanted to be a champion in boxing, I really wanted to keep my family, and it just caused a lot of confusion within myself. Mental illness is real. Mental health is real. And a lot of people are in denial. Men's mental health is a real thing. All right, we
Mhm.
have a lot of brothers going around here doing the worst, and we're working every day. Nobody's really asking us, hey, how do you feel? What's
Right.
going on? Is everything okay? All we do is work, take care of the family, pay bills, and just repeat, you know, every morning. There's not a lot of times where you're a man, you have to live that lifestyle. You can't, there's no such thing as being vulnerable. There's no such thing as, mental illness for you. You got being sad. We had that was my that's what I was going through, you
Uh-huh.
know. And no disrespect or nothing towards the person that I was with. It's just that she deserves somebody that was, she felt she deserved somebody that was,
Uh-huh.
focused directly on her.
Right.
You
Right.
can't mix both. And eventually I ended up smoking weed too. So I just totally, you know, gave up on myself, trying to find love and be there for someone. You can't do it. I seen champions
Hmm.
fall chasing behind women. They got the Bible story of the dude that I forgot his name. I'm Muslim, so I don't know the Bible story, but his ankle was weak. And Delilah, I think that was
Oh,
her name. And
Samson and
yeah,
Delilah with the long hair. Yeah.
yeah, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you have to stay strong mentally as well as physically. A lot of
Hmm.
people don't know that having sex while you're in training camp will weaken your legs and dehydrate your brain,
Hmm.
causing concussion. So it's very important to, you know, be mentally strong, disciplined, and ready to go when you're in this boxing world.
Hmm.
That is what they tell all, even athletes that are at a certain level. There are certain things that you shouldn't do before a match, before a competition, when you're training and things like that. And even like when
With
working with
gymnastics,
kids, we tell them don't get in the hot tub
don't get
before
out
a
the hot tub
competition because
or on
that,
the pool.
or in the pool, because that it completely like
Drains you.
exerts, it
Yeah.
drains your muscles. But another thing I wanted to say is that, a lot of people, Brian, in your shoes, do not find the answer. You know what I mean? They continue to struggle years and years and years, and they never find the answer. They never come to that like mental, they never get
Realization.
that
Yeah.
that realization, they never get that mental clarity of what you're expressing now. That you're happier, and that you have this mental clarity, and you're not struggling with sickness anymore. You're not struggling in that relationship anymore because you had to break yourself away from that. And like you said, not blaming another person, but we bring to the relationship too. So we have to be responsible for what we do as well.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Absolutely. You have to bring 100% of yourself into that ring. All right. There's no room for flaws. You see, Floyd Mayweather, he's the best because he trains harder than everybody else. He does the right thing in the gym, and that's why he's able to do the right thing in the ring. Shout out to Jose Toledo because the mindset that he had, his mindset, you know, really got me to where I was. I mean, I was homeless. I was in the streets running around while I was at the Resorts World fighting at Resorts World, you know. So I, I was paying what's $500 a week for a hotel room. I was down and out. And I
Hmm.
fought on ESPN in 2021 against Troy Osley. That was the big stage on in Las Vegas in the MGM Grand. My last sparring partner was Keith Thurman. You know, that's a different story. I got injured in my training camp with Keith Thurman. He injured me before the fight. That's one of the reasons he broke the cartilage. He perforated the cartilage in my chest, and I still went into the fight. It was a lot, you know what I mean, that played upon my mental state. I
Mm.
finally, like, coronavirus came at the time when I was about to make my move and everything was great. So it was just my mental wasn't strong enough to handle all that. You need to have a strong foundation, a strong
Absolutely.
mental, and a strong backing behind you if you're going to be in this sport. And marijuana is definitely not going to help you. And now with all these new studies of CHS, cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome, I'm telling you, people, really pay attention to what you're putting into your body because this stuff, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. And you're speaking from personal experience.
Yeah.
So that carries a lot of weight.
Hmm. You would hope that you could reach a lot of people, as that's why I said, I reached out to you because you reached me, and I saw that. I'm like, and I was reading through the comments and things like that, and like you said, people were like, oh well, you had a bad batch or whatever. No, it's just what it is. It's not it was a bad batch, because if it's not CHS, it's the smoke, or vice versa. But you have to be careful, like you said, you have to be careful for what you're putting in your body.
Yeah. Well, when people want to do something, they find an excuse, to do it.
Hmm.
And if
Absolutely.
they're doing something and you tell them no, that's wrong, they find another excuse to say
Hmm.
no. Let's blame it on something else. So we blame it on something else. I said no, it's not that. It must have been a bad batch. Then how do you know when you're getting a good batch?
Mm.
That is the
Well,
question.
I know that I was getting my stuff from the dispensaries. I would go
Wow.
right in, yeah, go right to the store, Show them your ID, you can get it now, right? And this not, they got stores for this stuff.
Right.
They made it legal. They made it and normalized it. Once you turn
Yes.
18, you're able to go. Yeah, you're able to go get it. But meanwhile, there's so many people that's in jail right now for trafficking this stuff. They didn't let those guys free after they
Right.
legalized it. My whole thing is, you know, it's it's just it's just sad. There's a lot of people that are going through this stuff and don't have the answers. It's not being publicized. And there's another thing is it's not on the back of the card of the containers of the weed. There's no CHS warning.
Huh.
If you ask
Oh,
me, there should be a class action lawsuit if you ask me. But I guess that's a different story right there. You
wow.
know,
Wow.
this it's horrible. It's
And,
horrible.
I so many of people who were against it being legalized, this what we've been saying for years, that it wasn't good. Now that it is, you said you didn't go down to the weed man in the street, you went down to the dispensary, which there
Hmm.
are multiple in towns all around you. As long as you're 18, you show your ID, like you said, and you're able to get it.
Hmm.
They say a lot of things that it cures people's nausea, but that have cancer, and it helps. There's a lot of stories out there, even on social media and YouTube that I've seen that cannabis was helping certain people. You know, I still, I don't know anything about that. I'm
Right.
not a doctor. I'm not one of these doctors, but at the end of the day, you know, I can just speak from what I went through. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and what I seen my uncle going through this as well back in the day, and I just didn't know. He used to lay there on his stomach crying, grown man crying like a baby back in like 1998. His wife had to rub his stomach, but all he would do was smoke to try to relieve it, and it wouldn't even relieve it. You know, this condition been out for a long, long time. It's just there's no doctors, there's no studies on it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so it's not new. It's been here. If you find yourself having, these kind of stomach aches, and the only thing that, helps you is a hot shower, hello, it's
Right.
time
Yeah.
to
Wake up
it's
call.
time to look it up. Yeah, definitely, definitely.
No, go ahead.
So now that you are all healthy and smiling and sharing, trying to share and help others, tell us about your walking back into the ring, eventually how that is going to happen and what that looks like for you.
Well, they always say you got to have a good backing. You have to have money behind you in the game. You just can't go in there all the time expecting to just fight the top and beat the top. It's a strategy. It's a business. A lot of people just think it's just about fighting. No, it's about really taking care of your finances as well and knowing the business. You are a 1099 contractor.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna go into the game a little bit smarter. I'm gonna go in and actually train harder. I've been in the gym. I got my own money now, so I'm able to,
Yeah, yeah,
you
that's
know,
yeah.
that's the big part. And I
Hmm.
got over the years, I met a lot of great people. And really, it's not about you know being the best. No, you know what? It is about being the best. It is about being the what? Yeah, I had to correct
Let's
myself.
be
It's
clear,
about being the
right? Be
best.
clear.
Let's be clear. There's
Yeah,
a
no,
couple of
nobody
guys.
was going to lose that fight.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, it's just me and the opponent in the ring. I remember
Right.
when I fought on ESPN, I got in the ring and I asked myself before the bell rang, I was like, what the heck am I doing in here? Looking at all the lights, I'm like, why am
Ah,
I doing this? And then the
Wow.
bell rang and it was like, another day in the office, let's go. And that's I realized right then and there, this is my life. This is what I signed up for. This is what I'm going to continue to do. You know,
okay.
so I'm gonna go at it till the wheels fall off. I'm 37 years old, and I just want everybody to not let age or anybody saying that you can't do it, do it. Because where I came from and what I was doing, I was homeless. I had nothing. Literally, if you know me, you know my story. If you're watching and you know me, you know what it was with me. And at the end of the day, I was hopeless, and I just woke up one day and I was like, let's go. let's do this. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the mentality that you have to have. That's the only type of people that's gonna make it in this world. That's the one that's gonna look at adversity. Is gonna look at all the negative and just be like, you know what, life is gonna hit you harder than a million bricks right in the face. You know, what are you gonna do? You're gonna give up and curl up like a little baby, or you just gonna keep it
Hmm.
moving? You gotta keep going. Yeah,
You
you gotta
gotta keep
keep going.
you gotta keep showing up, as they say.
Bryant,
Just
you
keep
are
showing up.
so full of wisdom right now. Just, I can totally see you just speaking to younger generations, about this topic. And, with that being said, before we let you go, what advice would you give to kids these days that are not necessarily kids that are trying to be athletes, but kids that are facing the pressure from other people about using substances and putting stuff in their bodies?
Just just be yourself. Don't be a follower.
Hmm.
That's the main thing. They used to tell me that growing up as a kid. Hey, don't be a follower, be a leader. And you're like, yeah, okay, whatever. You know, no, really, be that leader. Don't do what everybody else is doing because it's the norm or it's cool. Be the winner that you know you could be. You
Mhm.
understand? Go hard, all right? And don't ever quit on any dreams, all right? Just go hard at everything that it is that you do. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do it. All right, from younger me to myself, I should have started this earlier and I should have had this mentality earlier, but we're usually clouded by by what's
Mhm.
going on around us and trying to be cool and chasing the urge, you know. Start now at being that person. Don't focus on the fun. Everybody say, "Oh, you're a kid, have fun." Start now at building your life. Start at a young age. All right. Yes, be a kid, have fun, but focus on being responsible enough to know the difference at a young age. All right. There's gonna be a time when you get older. All right, and it's gonna get hard. Don't make these mistakes. Listen to
Hmm.
your elders.
I love that.
Somebody had a question.
Related to
Are you
Billy.
related to Billy?
Billy Costello, no, I'm not related to Billy Costello and his brother. I heard about them. They're from Poughkeepsie, and they were world champions. They trained right there in Kutcher's and
Uh-huh.
in Monticello, New York, on the north. And there's a lot of history in that area,
Yeah,
Monticello,
yeah.
in the Pines Hotel,
I
Concord
hotel,
Hotel,
Kutcher.
Groceries, Rock, yeah, Kutcher's,
Yeah.
Rocky Marciano. All those boxers just come to the area, so there's a
Hmm.
big history. It used to be the mecca of boxing training,
That's right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali,
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali right there in the Pines Hotel, exactly. And
Concord.
Cushing
Yeah,
was, hmm
yeah. All those people come. I was running one time. I know my wife knows the story. I was running, and I used to do road work, but just for my show. And Muhammad Ali and his entourage went running the other way. I say, hey,
Did you chase behind them?
no, I just kept going. It was funny. It was really funny.
wow, that's awesome right there. I don't know what I would have did at this
I
point in
think
You're
my
like, hey,
life.
I'm trained with y'all.
I didn't think it was
Yeah.
real. I didn't think it was real. I said, like, am I dreaming this?
That's
I just
funny.
kept going. It was fun. I
That's
didn't know
what
until afterwards, that they said he was training there. Oh, that's who it was.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
oh man.
Wow, this has been such an amazing interview for our viewers and also for you, Bryant. This interview will live on our YouTube channel, so you can share it on your page this week. You can share it in 2 months if you want to
Anytime you
refresh
want.
people's memories. So you will have this, and we'll be sharing it throughout the year as well because we think it's such an important topic. And you were such an amazing guest, Bryant.
And I
Thank
love what you're doing. I love what you're doing with it.
Mr. Tweed, I just want to let you know that I always looked up to you as a positive role model in the area. You know that I haven't spoke to you a lot, but the times that I did meet up with you, it was always a learning experience, and I just wanted to let you know that you are appreciated in that area and everything that you do, sir. So yeah, yes, sir.
Aw.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you for saying that.
It's the truth.
So,
Yes. hmm
Brian, thank you for joining us tonight on Tweed Talks. You were such an amazing guest. Keep sharing your story, and we're looking forward to see what you will do next, my friend.
I appreciate it. I got a lot coming, and I'm gonna keep y'all in tune.
All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Brian. Have a great night.
All right, y'all too. Bye.
Bye. I get shy when people say things like that, but he's. I wanted to talk to him for a while,
Yeah.
and then when you told me that, I didn't know he was going through that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
but he's gonna help a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna help a lot of people.
That's the important thing, where you learn from something and then you share that with others. And like I said, I see him talking to doing like speaking engagements
and visualizing that already. And if I could help him with that, I will do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna play a video.
Okay.
Because of what we're gonna be doing this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And we had them on the show before.
On one mysterious island, 10 masters will train 16 warriors who come together from around the world to fight, and only you will decide their fate. Only one will be crowned the ultimate island warrior.
And that's it. That's what we're going to be doing this weekend. We're going to be interviewing.
This weekend.
This weekend.
Yes.
On Saturday, we're going to be live down in New Jersey.
Live from the red carpet.
Live from the red carpet. We are going to be covering that.
And do you have the theater name handy so we can announce it?
You have to look it up from.
I have to look it up. Okay. I have to look it up.
Hold on.
So here's the thing, you guys. As we mentioned before, Tweed Talks is going to be live on the red carpet from the premiere of Warrior Island. So Warrior Island, just a little bit of background. We had James Jefferson on the show season 1?
No, that was like season 2.
Like season 2. And we've also had a couple of the actors from the film on the show as well. So the film premiered November at the Urban Action Showcase in Times Square, AMC. So we saw it there. They've redone it a little bit and made it better. So it's going to premiere again this Saturday at the AMC Theater in Marlton, New Jersey. That's Saturday, March 16th at
6 p.m.
6 p.m. Yes. We are really excited, you guys. We'll be remote. We're looking forward to talking to some amazing martial artists. James Jefferson, who is the writer, the creator, and like we mentioned before,
Michelle Wood is going to be there as well.
Who?
Michelle Wood.
Michelle Wood.
Woo. W-U.
W-U.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a great time. We're looking forward to it. Let's rattle off some names. So Grandmaster Jose Torres is going to be there. Grandmaster Ken McKenzie, Nate Dogg, Amanda Duarte, Robert Bass, Lauren Walther, Tim Dooling, Timmy Tyler, Charlotte Bowles. The list goes on. James Jefferson, obviously, also. Ginger Lotus, Nicole Webb.
Yeah, all those people are going to be there. Probably some more. Actually, we didn't get the whole list.
Right. This is not the whole list. This is just a partial.
Because some people live outside United States. So.
So we'll be live from the red carpet. We're going to StreamYard that, or just do a Facebook Live.
Oh, it'll probably be YouTube and StreamYard and Facebook. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to StreamYard it just like we usually do. That is going to be Saturday. So there's going to be a special episode of Tweed Talks this Saturday from the red carpet of Warrior Island.
All right. And with that, we're going to say...
Adios, te veo.
Si me lo dice, te lo creo.
Thank you guys for joining us live on Tweed Talks. We look forward to seeing you. Saturday, special episode of Tweed Talks live from the red carpet. Then Monday is going to be a complete recap.
Right.
The show is going to be dedicated to Warrior Island and our experience being live remote.
Okay. Love peace and harmony.
And harmony,
I'll
guys.
see you next week. Bye-bye.